Hey, everyone. I'm late. I'm sorry. Monica Corrado here. The Gap Chef, 11:37 on a Tuesday morning, Mountain Time, from the good old foothills of northern Colorado. I apologize for being late, everyone. I've been a little bit busy. Getting ready to speak at the Naturally Inspired Health Summit this Saturday, the 24th of June, in Loveland, Colorado, at The Ranch. I'm going to put this down. There we go. So, anyway, I've been busy with all sorts of things getting ready for that. I will be talking about gaps, of course. I will be talking about gut health and all of those wonderful things that have to do with gut and psychology syndrome. So that's where I was, and I apologize for being late. Hello, Elin. Hello, Laura. Hello, Wajia. I hope I said that correctly. Hello. Oh boy. Is it Sekalita Mohammed? Hello, everyone. So today is Tuesday, and today we talk about all things GAPS. I'm happy to answer your questions about cooking for the GAPS diet, about implementing the GAPS diet, about, what else? The stages of the GAPS diet in intro, stages 1 through 6. I'm happy to talk about the full GAPS diet, transitioning off the diet, etc., etc. One more time with feeling, I am not a medical doctor. If you have medical questions, you should consult a medical doctor. I am a certified GAPS practitioner. I do train practitioners in the GAPS protocol for Dr. Natasha, and I also train coaches for Dr. Natasha. And the greatest thing right now for me is that my fabulous book that I love is being translated, or has been translated, into French and Italian. So anyone who speaks French or Italian can pick up my book as a PDF on SeleneRiverPress.com. That is my publisher. SELENE riverpress.com. All right. So, hello, Roseanne, hello, Abida, hello, Faria, hello, everyone, hello, whoever is not coming on to say hello. Welcome. So, today, I thought I would take your questions, but today I also just had a couple of things to talk about. One is to welcome you to summer. For those of us in the northern hemisphere, we have summer solstice tomorrow morning, and of course everyone in the southern is going to be going into winter. We're going into summer. What a wonderful thing. Hey, Rosie. Hello, Roseanne. Yes, good to see you also. Hello, Rosie. All right. So we're going to summer. Yay. What else? So happy summer solstice to all of you. When we go into summer, that makes me think of things. It makes me think of grilling outside. It makes me think of bounty. It makes me think of bountiful gardens, which makes me think of storing them, all that vegetable, all those vegetables and all that produce, which makes me think of, see how my mind goes? Which makes me think of Lacto-Fermentation and how wonderful it is, and how everyone can take that fabulous bounty and ferment it. So, making things like fermented chutneys and fermented salsas and fermented ketchup and fermented mustard and fermented pickles and fermented everything, fermented berries, fermented beverages. So I just wanted to bring that up. Lacto-fermentation is such a wonderful, fabulous, incredible skill to have, to know how to do it. I do provide, 8 different ways to ferment in my book. So if you want to take a look at that, that would be great. There are a lot of questions about fermentation on the page. I encourage all of you always to search the page before posting a question, because often things have been discussed already, and there's just a lot of knowledge on that page, which I'm really grateful for. I'm thankful for all the people who are answering questions and supporting each other and giving each other ideas and swapping stories and all of that good stuff. So, I want to talk a little bit about lacto-fermentation today, only because I'm seeing a lot of things on the page about it, and then, of course, I will take any of your questions. Hello, Megan. She made it. Hello. Hello, Adam. Hello, Tanya. Good to have you with us. Excellent. Wonderful to have you all with us, or with me. So, let's just talk about fermentation just for a moment. So, the only thing you need to ferment, folks, is salt. And, hello, Laura. The only thing you really need to ferment a food, to lacto-ferment a food, is salt. Please use good quality salt. And good quality salt is salt that has minerals in it. The website will tell you it has minerals in it. Very, very important to get a good quality salt. And also, there will be no flow agents or anti-caking agents in the salt. I like to suggest that you look for a salt that has at least 50 or more minerals in it, that they tell you that it is in there. They're actually testing the salt and then can provide you a list of what minerals are in the salt. So really important, because there is a lot of salt out there that is CRAP, right? Which is garbage. It's just a lot of sodium chloride, and you really want to make sure that your salt is providing the minerals that your body needs. So I have a couple of different salts on my website, Simply Being Well. You can take a look at that. Those are salts that I have researched that can tell us that have done testing on their salt and can tell you how many minerals are in there and the percentages. It's really important to get a good salt. So salt is the only thing that's required for lacto-fermentation. If you would like to use a starter when you ferment, sometimes we use whey, W-H-E-Y, and whey can be gotten, as many of you know, from either dripping, that's straining through cheesecloth, straining through several layers of cheesecloth, folks, because cheesecloth can be very porous and allow lots of milk solids through, which we don't want in our whey. So you can strain through cheesecloth. I like to suggest you use an old linen napkin. You can use a t-shirt that you cut up. These are all wonderful things to strain whey, which will give you clean whey without all the milk solids. We don't want any milk solids in our whey. We just want clean whey. So I encourage you, if you get a bunch of milk solids, meaning white, in your whey, you want to strain it again. And strain it with, as I said, either several layers of cheesecloth, because then it'll be tighter, right? Or you can buy a nice tight weave cheesecloth that will capture all the yogurt, which becomes yogurt cheese. Dr. Natasha calls that cottage cheese in GAPS. Or it will trap all of the kefir, which we call kefir cheese. Again, in GAPS we call that cottage cheese. We don't call it cottage cheese in the U.S. Cottage cheese is a very different thing. but strained yogurt cheese, strained kefir cheese. Or you can take beautiful, clean, raw milk, allow it to separate on the counter for 5 to 7 days, depending on the temperature of your kitchen, out of the sun, and make sure that you are, again, straining the whey so that the whey comes to the bottom, and it's beautiful, and it's usually a bright yellow-green color, and it's clear, yes, you want to strain that whey out. So whey is something that we can use as a starter along with salt. So a lot of folks are having issues with white on top of their beet kvass, or white on top. It's easier to see on beet kvass because, of course, beet kvass is dark, right? Or white on top of their cabbage tonic, like a little white film almost. Sometimes that is just the fact that you used whey and that the whey had milk solids in it. You don't want to lacto-ferment vegetables and fruits with milk solids in the whey. W-H-E-Y. So, hey Joanna, good to see you. Good to have you. Hello Natasha. Hello. Hello Ianella. Hello Shauna. Hello Marie. Hello Ishrat. Hello. Good to have everyone here today. All right, so again, one of the major issues that people have with making beet kvass, with making cabbage tonic, with making pickles, right? With fermenting pickles, fermenting cucumbers to make pickles, etc. When they use whey, is that their whey has milk solids in it. So do make the effort to make sure that you get a clean batch, clear batch of whey with no milk solids, and many of those problems will go away, will disappear, will not show up in your jar. Hello. Okay, so what else can you use to lacto-ferment? Oh, here we go. Rosie, hello Rosie. Is there a difference between using whey from kefir versus whey from yogurt? Preference? Yes, very good question. Very big difference between whey from kefir and whey from yogurt, and the difference is in the amount of yeast in the whey from kefir. So kefir whey, just like kefir itself, is a much more potent it's a much more potent product. It's a lot more potent. It can cause more die-off, but at the same time, it's really giving you that fabulous yeast, which we want. This is beneficial yeast. This is yeast that will keep pathogenic yeast in check. The preference in the GAPS diet, if there is a preference, according to Dr. Natasha anyway, is that the first thing we use is yogurt whey when we culture things. If we're going to use whey to make a lacto-fermented vegetable like sauerkraut or like pickles or like anything else that you would be, ginger, carrots, etc., beets, that you use yogurt whey first, and that you graduate to kefir whey, because you may have, you probably will have, the majority of people do have die-off, stronger die-off from using kefir. Whether you're drinking it as kefir or milk kefir, whether you are eating it as kefir cream, or whether you are using kefir whey to make the beautiful vegetable medley, which I hope all of you have made. And if you have not yet, that is where kefir whey first shows up in GAPS. Vegetable medley. Okay, good question. All right, so back to this. Hopefully that was helpful. So back to this. So you can use just salt, and usually it's 2 tablespoons per quart. That's the usual amount of salt that you use, 2 tablespoons. level, fine salt per quart. If you're going to use whey, usually, the formula is 1 tablespoon of salt and 4 tablespoons of whey, W-H-E-Y, whether it is yogurt whey or kefir whey, starting with yogurt whey being the preference. Okay, so if you don't use whey, you can also use a vegetable starter. Great idea to use a vegetable starter. There are several companies out there that make good vegetable starters. The one that I am most familiar with is Cultures for Health. They have wonderful vegetable starters. You can also, most people can walk into their natural grocery, we have natural grocers in Colorado, or food co-op, which will now sell vegetable starters because, thank God, people are finally, after many, many years, we started talking about this a long time ago, folks, but people want to make their own cultured vegetables. Hooray! They are cheaper. They are more potent. They are better for you, right? Make your own. So, many of the stores have started carrying vegetable starters for making cultured vegetables, and lacto-ferments. Same thing. You can say that, use it interchangeably. Okay. Hello, Karen. Wow, Karen is here. I was just thinking of you today, Karen. We should talk later. Hello, Akila. Hooray, hooray. Look at all these fabulous people. Thanks for being with me. Okay, so those are the methods, for the most part, of fermenting vegetables and fruits and tonics. Salt is the only thing you need. You don't have to get schmancy if you have good salt. The next one is to do salt plus whey, starting with yogurt whey, graduating, which means gradually getting to kefir whey. And then, of course, using a vegetable starter is a wonderful thing to do. Why? Because you are bringing in different cultures, which is a wonderful thing to do. One of the things I like to say, and friends of mine who are on this call right now have heard me say it, is that we want to get jiggy with, meaning we want to be able to eat lots and lots of lacto-ferments and every day, and that we want to have it be no big whoop, meaning we should be able to eat, a half a cup of sauerkraut at lunch and a cup of yogurt at breakfast, and homemade, of course, and then we want to go ahead and have another half a cup or cup of fermented veggies. Maybe it's kimchi, maybe it's beets, maybe it's a little bit of beets, a little bit of ginger carrots, whatever. Maybe it's a glass of cabbage tonic. Maybe it's a glass of kombucha. Maybe it's a glass of, kombucha is not a lacto-ferment. It is fermented, but it's not a lacto-ferment. So anyway, we want to be able to have all this stuff and have it be no die-off. I mean, really, we should be able to do that. Now, we have to remember, folks, that it's important and required. It is important and required that we have lacto-fermented foods, lacto-fermented beverages, cultured dairy. If you're doing dairy, if you're able to tolerate dairy on the GAPS diet, we're doing this every single day. Every day, every meal. Why? Because we have to have a constant stream, constant input of lacto-fermented foods into the body. Why? Because they do not colonize in the body, right? So that's why we want to do it. If you stop eating ferments, okay, only after a few days will your bacterial, your microbial flora, your microbial communities, will they the beneficial ones, will they continue living? Will the level continue where it needs to be for you? So really important for you to be eating these things every day. Now, what else? And really important that you be eating homemade ones as much as possible, because the amount of culture, meaning the amount of microbes the potency of homemade ferments far exceeds the potency of things that you buy in the store. So remember that as you bring lacto-fermented foods into your diet or your child's diet or your spouse's diet or your client's diet or whatever we're talking about here, remembering that lacto-ferments that are bought, commercially made ones, and I'm very clear about this in my book, commercially made lacto-ferments are far less potent than ones you make yourself. So, if you start with commercially made lacto-ferments, and some people do, because of necessity, no problem, they can get up to a cup a day of sauerkraut that they buy in the store, tra-la. But if they try to go vertically from a cup of commercially made kraut to a cup of homemade kraut, they will be sick. Sorry, meaning you will experience die-off. So it's not lateral, meaning it's not the same. The potency of commercially made ferments is far less than the potency of homemade ferments. So just keep that in mind as you go along the little lacto-fermented trail, right? Just keep that in mind as you go. And remember that you are responsible for listening to your body and adjusting the amount that you eat accordingly, right? I personally, when I work with people, I want them to manage their die-off, right? We want to manage die-off. Why do we want to manage die-off? Manage, putting it in quotes. We want to manage die-off so that we're not sitting on the couch feeling terrible for the entire weekend. We're not vomiting all day. We're not vomiting out one way and diarrhea the other way and on the couch and la. So really listening to your body, really allowing, increasing the amounts slowly at a pace that you feel comfortable. All right. Hello, Leslie. Okay, Ianella says powdered yogurt starter or powdered kefir starter can also be used for fermenting vegetable. No. So, very good question. Funny, I had it floating around my mind going, I should probably make this point, so I'm going to make the point. So, remembering that dairy provides a very different food for the microbes than vegetables. So, we want to use dairy starter, yogurt starter for milk and cream, or kefir starter for milk and cream, and culturing them, and we want to be using vegetable starter for culturing vegetables. Just think about it. The components are very different. Yeah? When you're working with milk and cream, we've got protein there, we've got fat there, right? We have lots of other things there. Of course, we have carbohydrate, which is what the microbes will be eating and breaking down, lactose specifically, but there's no lactose in vegetables. So we want to make sure to use vegetable starter for vegetables. Good idea? Okay, I hope that was helpful. All right, folks, so I just wanted to talk a little bit about that today. I'm trying to think about what else you can. Also, one more thing, I gave you 3 methods of fermenting. You're welcome. 1 is use only salt. 2 is use salt plus whey, whether it's from yogurt, kefir, or raw milk that you've separated. Raw only, don't try it with pasteurized. Okay. The 3rd way is to use a vegetable starter, right, when you're making lacto-ferments. The 4th way, yay, number 4, is to use the brine from a ferment that you made previously. So, one of the things that we learn as we start fermenting things and culturing things and making our own homemade kraut and pickles and everything else is that we never eat it all. It's always best to keep, let's see, maybe it is, woo! I hope that's better. Adam, thank you for letting me know. Let me know if it's better, the audio, for sure. It's hard for me to do an audio check on a phone beforehand. Okay, so what's the last piece? Oh, brine. So when we are, Laura, is it still low? Oy, oy, oy. I'll come closer. Hello, is that better? Talk a little louder, I guess. Okay, I don't know. Hopefully that's better. Okay, so you never eat all of it. Keep the brine. Keep a little bit of the brine. Keep a little bit of the beet kvass. Keep a little bit of the cabbage tonic, and use that as your starter for your next batch of something. So I guess that's the fourth way that I wanted to go through here. Hello. Hi, Dill. Let's see. Have you fermented herbs before? Is fermenting herbs different from fermenting vegetables? Nope. So, trying to think if there's any specifics I need to tell you about. I think that you can, let's see, fermented herbs. If I were to ferment herbs, I would probably chop them up first. And then I would ferment them. I would not put them in whole. I think that's going to be better. Yes. And then I would just follow the same principles. Because herbs are plants, just like vegetables. So, yeah, I would go ahead and do that. I would chop them first, and then I would apply the same methods. Okay. Elin asks, is elderflower kvass okay on stage 2? It contains lemon, elderflower, a little honey, and whey or salt. Yes. Yep. Any kind of kvass you want to make on stage 2. I even say it in my book that you should wait to make fruit kvass until you're tolerating fruit. Yes, that's true. And at the same time, if in fact the lacto-fermentation process is breaking down the sugar, then it shouldn't be a problem to have at any stage. But to be conservative, we'll put it at stage fruit kvass at like stage 4, or stage 5 even. All right, but yes, elderflower kvass definitely. Yep, lemon, love it. Make it, drink it. Off you go. Sounds lovely, Elin. Okay, Dill wants to know any tips for clogged milk ducts. Oh, I'm so sorry. This isn't really gaps, but yes, I would do castor oil packs on the breasts. Yes, I would do castor oil packs on them. That should help open things up. Yes, blessings on that. Anything else about clove? That's the best thing you can do, I do believe. If anyone else wants to contribute, just throw it on this chat for Dill. Castor oil packs every night on the breasts. I would do it 10, 15, 20 minutes. Okay, hello, Sarisha. Okay, Roseanne has a question. Let's see. Hey, Monica, I just need your thoughts on this. Does eating meat contribute to parasites in the body? Oy, oy, oy. I just listened to a video about how meat increases parasites in the body and how we need to juice fruits and vegetables. No meat, eggs or dairy. Not sure about fermented dairy. Yeah. You're welcome, Eden. Massage ducks in warm shower too. Excellent. Okay, so here's the thing, dear Roseanne and everyone, regarding parasites. Again, I was blessed to teach with Dr. Natasha, I think it was 2 weeks ago now, because time marches on. I think it was 2 weeks ago. And so one of the things that she said was about parasites is that usually after a year or so, or even more, on the GAPS diet, that parasites will take themselves out of the body. Oh my goodness. Because they're no longer needed. Now, one of the things that you can, so to do the diet for a year before you even start thinking about any kind of parasite cleanse, And again, it is highly individual, but for the most part, we want to get the body, and we want to get the flora. We want to get the gut flora. We want to get the microbial community in balance by doing GAPS, by eating fermented foods, by eating cultured dairy, etc., for a good while. See if the body can bring itself to balance before we go and do anything that's an anti-parasitic. Now, I have not heard that eating meat increases parasites. I have not heard that you should go ahead and just do all vegetables and juices and cut out eggs and cut out dairy and cut out meat and become a vegan. Quite frankly, we know that plants are cleansers and animal foods are builders, and for the most part, people that come to GAPS are really malnourished, superbly malnourished. They are nutrient deficient, they are malnourished because many reasons, but one of the reasons is that their digestive system is not working. Some of it's because they've been eating CRAP for a long time, processed foods, lots of carbs, foods that are not raised in a way that is clean. But so that contributes to the problem. So for the most part, again, I'm saying for the most part, the vast majority of people that come to GAPS are malnourished because they've been either eating very bad food or their digestive system doesn't work, or both. So we don't do cleanses right off the bat in GAPS. And if you want to do a cleanse, which is what eating vegan is, that's a cleanse. It's not sustainable. The body cannot sustain itself on just plant life for a long period of time. You can do a cleanse when you're ready. So that's really what they're talking about, Roseanne. So again, eating bad meat, yeah. Eating contaminated meat, yeah, maybe that will contribute to parasites in the body, but we really just have to keep that thing right here, right? We just need to keep the understanding right here, meaning right in front of our eyeballs. It's the lens that we're looking through whenever we are looking at these things on video, whenever we're listening to things on podcasts. The lens is this. Animal foods are builders. They need to be clean, of course. They need to be raised sustainably, yes, etc., etc. And plant foods are cleansers. Those are your lenses, folks. Everything that you listen to, you need to look it through that, or I'm suggesting that you look through that lens, and then you look at yourself and you say, let's see, do I need cleansing or do I need building? In general, again, children are going to need building. How can you put a child on vegetables only and expect their brain to function? Well, expect their brain to develop correctly and expect their brain to function, expect their hormones to have the nutrients that they need to do what they need in the body, right? So you can't eat enough kale, folks, to get the calcium you need to build bones in children. You just can't. It's not possible. So, one more time with feeling, use those lenses of, okay, so if I know that animal foods are builders, again, organic, sustainably raised, right, regenerative farming, clean, all those things, right? So if animal foods are builders, plant foods are cleansers, what do you need right now? And again, Dr. Natasha's word on this as of last week, 2 weeks ago, really is work with the body, bring the microbial communities to balance, meaning starve out the pathogens, bring in the good guys, get them to balance. Do that for a year, nourish yourself with good foods, get your digestive system working, and then after a year or more, let's think about parasites. There is a parasite cleanse, there's a full moon parasite cleanse out there. There's also just eating pumpkin seeds and drinking pumpkin seed milk. And there are lots of beautiful herbs you can work with later. All right. I hope that was helpful. What do we got? What do we got? La 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 la. La 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 la. Let's see, anything else? Okay, I hope that was helpful. Now, Elin says, can you make frozen pills of heart, or does heart have to be cooked? No, you can absolutely make frozen pills. I'm so glad you make frozen liver pills. Do you know I invented that years ago? Anyway, that was like 15 years ago. Maybe 12. Anyway, so yes, you can make frozen heart pills. You can make frozen kidney pills. You can make frozen any organ you want pills. Just make sure that the meat is from a clean source, of course, always, and that you freeze it for a minimum of 14 days. Then, yes, you can. Now, remember, heart is going to be a little bit more challenging on the digestive system, as would be kidney, as would be anything other than liver. So make sure that your stomach acid production is strong. And you can definitely, like, you can pop those while you're eating a meal. Yeah, good idea. Great idea, Elin. Okay, what do we got? Dill says, I hear that Dr. Natasha is writing a book about regenerative. Yes, I actually don't know the answer to that. I don't know definitively that she is, although I've heard whispers also, and it makes total sense to me that that will be the next thing that she writes. And no, I don't know yet, but I can try and find out what the progress is, how fast, right? Like, when would it be out? Yes, she's definitely doing that, because now she's an organic farmer, so it's so great, because, you know, she's walking the talk, group. I'm not saying that all of us can have an organic farm. We can't. We can't find the land. We can't afford it. We can't do it because, you know, we're doing something else with our lives. We have children, whatever. It doesn't matter. No judgment here. She's in a position that she can have an organic farm and raise her own food and process her own meats and chickens and, right? She's done it all, folks, which is why it's great to learn from people who actually live it, right? She can answer lots of questions. She's not asking you to do anything that she's not already doing. How cool is that? Okay. Joanna says, I'm still having sliminess when fermenting carrots and beets. Is it because of the sugar content? No visible yeast or mold? Is this just something to accept? No, good. Joanna, so absolutely it has to do with sugar. Yes, carrots and beets are high in sugar. So what you could do is increase the amount of starter that you're using. I don't know if you're using a starter, but I would try a vegetable starter with those guys, those specific vegetables. And I would also think about maybe adding more salt, just a bit. No, it's not something to accept. Yuck, we don't want slime. Slime is slimy. So, that's what I would do. If you haven't used a vegetable starter, try a vegetable starter. If you are using a vegetable starter, try increasing either the amount of starter or the amount of salt. Slime has to do with pH, and a lot of it has to do with whether or not you have very high sugar vegetables going. I hope that's helpful. La 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 la. Okay. Hey, Tara. When did you sneak in here, lady? Okay. This is not GAPS either. Good to have you, by the way. Okay. This is not GAPS either. Okay. But vibration. Be careful. But I just used a massage gun for the back gently with heat, and it loosened it right up. Okay. Fabulous. So this is for the milk ducts, folks. Okay. Thank you for that. Rosie wants to know on the topic of SIBO dysbiosis. Yes. Okay. Dill says, thank you for all the tips for clogged milk ducts. Many recommend online to take the shower sunflower lecithin to thin out the milk, would it be full gaps? Yes. Just make sure it's, again, if you're on full gaps, just make sure it's clean, meaning it's right, like just as clean as you can get without a bunch of garbage in it. Do your best. Yes. You're welcome, Roseanne. Hello, Emily. Welcome. All right, we've got lots of people. Hey, Anna Clara, you're here. Good to have you. Fabuloso. Good to have you. Hello, Aquila. All right. Okay, I think I told you about that one already. Oh, I didn't see the rest of it. Okay, Elin, I will see the rest of yours. Well, I would love to hear what you think about TBE vaccine. I'm thinking about getting vaccinated. Yipes. So, this is the word according to Monica. Yeah. I don't actually believe in those things, so I would be looking at alternatives. I will post an alternative. You can definitely get it. I will post an alternative. I will speak it now. If you're concerned about ticks or you're concerned about bugs of any kind, bites, parasites, internal or external, I know I just talked about parasites a little while ago, but this is just coming to me now. So I would look on Perelandra, Perelandra, Perelandra-ltd.com. I will post that. Perelandra, because Perelandra has a both internal and external parasite remedy, and they also have one, I think, about ticks. So check it out. Okay, let me go back up here. Okay, where was everybody? Good. Okay, Faria says, what is your thought on using pure olive oil drops daily in the ear canal as a preventative for ear infection and overall keeping the ear canal healthy? You know, Faria, you could do it. I would warm the olive oil first. I don't know that I would do it daily. I probably wouldn't do it daily unless there's a reason. I haven't really heard of using olive oil preventatively for ear health. Usually we will use olive oil with a garlic infusion when we have an infection. So, I don't know that doing it every day would be a good idea. That's just a gut feeling. I don't have, pardon me, Ranger, talking about gaps. Sorry. But I don't know that I would do that every day. We don't want wax buildup, right? So, olive oil is a fat, wax, not really sure. Doesn't feel like a good idea to me. Okay. Okay, you know what, Rosie, sorry, but I'm not going to look at this right now. It's too long. Give me a second. I don't know anything about desulfovibrio, blah, 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 sulfur-producing gram-negative bacteria. If one has abundance per stool test along with meth and yeah. So here's the deal. I'm not going to talk about stool tests. I don't do tests. I talk about food. You are welcome to do stool tests, but the problem with stool tests, according to Dr. Natasha, and I'm with her, is that they get very, very narrow in their scope, and they look at one thing, and they don't look at the overall picture, and that's not what we do in GAPS. So, if you would like to do tests, you are welcome to do them, but they're not required to do the GAPS diet. They're not suggested. They're not required. They're not suggested. And if you're going to do them just for a baseline, you could do them. Once a year. But I don't work with tests, so I'm not going to speak on this. Sorry. Rosie, I just don't have it, and I don't work that way, and so it won't be helpful for me to even go through that at this point. SIBO, CEO, yeah, sorry. I mean, I'll go back and look at it later, see if there's anything, but at this point I'm going to take things that are within my scope, meaning what do I do and what do I practice, and yeah. Okay. Tanya says, I want to make my own cultured butter is sheep's cream. Go for it, Tanya. You can make your own butter with fat from any mammal, if you can get enough of the cream to do it. Okay. Laura says, oh my God, can't wait for this book. I'm doing all that as inspired by Dr. Natasha. Excellent, Laura. Fabulous. I can't wait either. Even though I just have a garden. Little garden. Okay, so Tanya says, I have tried goat and camel, but had to take a break because of severe reactions. Okay. I only have 8 ounces of cream, so I don't have the energy to shake in a jar, but I have blended and food processor blender. Excellent. So big, so would a jet mini blender work? Yeah, if you need to, just do a little bit at a time. Anyone. If you have something that you can only fit just a little bit at a time, just you have a small food processor or a small blender or whatever, just go ahead and do just a little bit at a time. That should be fine. Okay. You're welcome, Rosie. Yeah, I really start kind of glazing over when we start talking about all the specific, I call it picayune, the tiny little, like, let's just really focus on this one thing when we forget about the whole picture. Let's go whole picture. GAPS is whole picture. GAPS is whole picture. GAPS is whole picture. Let's get the whole thing balanced. That's what we're going for. We are not reductionist. I don't know if I said that in this particular venue or whether it was on my GAPS chat on Thursday mornings, but GAPS is not reductionist. We do not practice reductionist healing, reductionist anything. Reductionist meaning one little tiny piece. Let's just look at that one piece. No, we have to look at the whole thing. We have to look at how do we get to balance. All of it. Okay. You're awesome. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Rosie. You're welcome, Tanya. Hello, B. Hello, Patricia. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Abida, when is your meat stock course coming? You know what? It's coming before the end of June. Yes. I have a meat stock masterclass coming. I'm working on my assistant. I don't have an assistant. Is working on doing all of the getting the video ready to go. So Meat Stock Masterclass, my goal is June 30th. And I will send out an email. And I don't have your email addresses. I will announce on this forum, I will announce on the page and all that good stuff. And on my website for sure. Okay, what do we got here? We've got something else happening. La 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 la, where are we? I'm trying to find you. Akila says, is homemade magnesium oil enough for magnesium deficiency? I don't know about homemade magnesium oil. You'll have to tell me. I don't know the recipe. And remember, folks, ready? Oh, this is a gem. Are you ready for a pearl? Let's all listen in. Bring your ears in. Here we go. Where do we find magnesium besides Epsom salt baths? Magnesium we find in all green plants. Chlorophyll. The center of the chlorophyll molecule is magnesium. So if you need magnesium, folks, start juicing greens. Don't juice a lot of kale because kale can suppress your thyroid. But juice everything else. Spinach. Any dark leafy green is going to be high in magnesium. So Dr. Natasha has a couple of magnesium juice recipes, at least in the blue book. I think it's in the yellow book also, under juicing. Check them out. Okay. All right. Let us see. Where are we? Natasha asks, is drinking iodine necessary? Yeah, who wants to drink iodine? Who's drinking iodine? Sorry, it makes me nervous. Obviously. Or painting on the skin is enough. So, one more time with feeling, you all know that Dr. Natasha has the iodine paint protocol in the blue book on the right side. I don't know if it's page 69. I'm sorry, I don't have the blue book with me. I have everything else over here. look at the protocol. You can take iodine internally as iodoral. I personally prefer iodine that is bound to protein, so I work with standard process iodine because it works, because it's effective. But those are pills, and they are called prolamine iodine. I really suggest that everyone who's trying to supplement with iodine read Dr. Brownstein's book about iodine before you do it. And to work with a practitioner. I'm not even saying a GAPS practitioner, but a naturopathic doctor, someone who can help you with taking iodine internally. Naturopath, nutritionist who's trained in that, etc. So start with painting, but I like to use painting as, I personally like to use painting with people as like the test to see where are you with iodine. Do you need more? That's how I like to use it, but I would suggest go back and read the book. What does Dr. Natasha say? And then go back and read Brownstein's book about iodine. It's like iodine, why you need it or something like that. Have that over there too. Okay. All right, we've got a couple more questions coming in. I answered that one. La 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 la. I love that you have a hobby farm, Laura. Okay. Let's see. Can we use activated charcoal as a binder for a die-off reaction? Yes, but remember that activated charcoal needs to be, I personally, again, this is my take on it, I would do activated charcoal only on the full GAPS diet, and I would also do activated charcoal only. You must use it outside of meals, or it can bind with the food, right? It has to be away from meals. Okay, so Becky mentioned the magnesium spray recipe. Yeah, I don't know it. I don't have it. I personally, I don't know. Magnesium. I would be eating greens, and I would be juicing greens, and then I would think about anything else, and I would be doing Epsom salt baths. Is kohlrabi turnip cabbage? Oh, yeah. I hate that stuff. Did I say that? Ooh, I did. That's just me. I don't like it. I think it tastes horrible. Okay to eat on intros. So I would put kohlrabi on full GAPS. You would absolutely have to, of course, peel it. I don't know. I would put it on full GAPS. I think it's very high in fiber. Elin, good question. And then you could try it. I mean, if you're going to try it on intro, I would try it way late. Like, I would try it not before you hit, I don't know, stage 4, stage 5. And make sure you cook it really well, and then you blend it, you pulverize it really well, and then you eat it with a lot of fat. And then you see, if you have massive amounts of gas, you're not ready, right? Okay, there's something else up here that someone needs. I don't know about homeschooling. Oh, where's the 4-year-old question? I'm getting there. Does the supplement started with a P help with malaria? I don't know anything about that. Okay, let me get to Anna Clara. Looks like she's got the last question. My 4-year-old has been constipated since 1.5 years old. Now she's having a cough since December, and when she's eating, she's desperately trying to clear her throat. Only happens during mealtime. She's eating a normal diet since I cannot affect what she's eating at preschool. So the first thing we do is make sure she's on full GAPS when she's at home. Because you can affect, if she's eating breakfast and dinner at home, that's 2 out of 3. So that will have an effect. I really hope we do that. Now the preschool is agreed on trying to eliminate foods to see if you get sometimes better. Do you have any idea of what could cause the coughing and clearing her throat? Yeah, she's trying to detox. We're getting desperate because we cannot put her on GAPS diet since you cannot. No, you can put her on the GAPS diet right now. Frankly, folks, everyone, sorry, I'm being a little bit strong here. I would absolutely put her on a full GAPS diet right now. I would take out all processed foods. I would take out all grains. When she's at home, I would take out all beans. I would take out all sugar. I would be giving her lots of fat. I would be giving her lots of ferments. I mean, obviously, you all know we start with a little and we work our way up. We don't just like get her eating a bunch of ferments all at one time. I would be giving her meat stock at home. I would really be doing that, and the next thing I would do is the detox protocol, which all of us should be doing, that you must do when you're on GAPS, right? We run a detox protocol right alongside the diet, and so she should be having nightly detoxification baths. She should be having juices. Yeah, I would look into that for sure. I would absolutely do that. Okay. We're here for the soapbox. Thanks, Em. Sometimes I get a little bit heated because ay, people, right? Okay. All right, where are we? We're talking about, yes. Okay. Yes, good idea. Adam says, is it possible to homeschool her? That may help with the diet. Absolutely. That would definitely help with the diet. Then you can actually see what's happening with her, right? Good idea. All right, Tara says, you're welcome, Anna. I'm telling you, Anna Clara, do it. Everybody, at least do full GAPS. I mean, the whole world should be eating full GAPS, folks. I know that sounds crazy. I'm on the soapbox for you, Adam. Right? So, right? What does that mean? It means take out all the crap. Yes, I said it. Terrible. C-R-A-P. Take out all the processed foods. Take out all the glyphosate. Take out all of the, all of the grains. And eat real food. Do it. Do it. And then, if your daughter or your child is at preschool, then you look at, they're only at preschool for a certain amount of time and see what's going on there. I'm doing wise traditions. Great. Fabulous. I would still take out all the grains and all the sugar. Okay, Tara has, do you think oxalates are a concern when increasing grains? I have heard mixed opinions on this one. I knew that was coming too. So funny. When I said juice spinach, I knew someone would throw in the oxalate question, and you are the winner, Tara. So, one more time with feeling. That, again, is reductionist. So, what do I think? I think that you should listen to your body, and I think that if you really have a massive problem, massive meaning if you really are experience strong discomfort when you have oxalates, then take the oxalates out. But for most people, it's about balanced grasshopper. And so if you put a little bit of spinach and a little bit of the other greens that are not high in oxalates, you should be fine in terms of juicing. Again, one more time, listen to your body. If your body says, I don't like oxalates right now, take them out. And then bring them back in 3 months or 6 months. But I wouldn't jump on the no oxalate bandwagon just because it's out there, right? Some people do. I'm not saying that people don't have problems with oxalates. Some people do. But what is that pointing to? It's just pointing to the fact that they have a leaky gut and they need healing. So, with any food, if it's giving you a hard time, if you cannot progress, if you cannot tolerate it, if it's too disturbing, take it out, put it on the shelf for a while, bring, more healing, try again later. Hope that wasn't too snarky for you there, Tara. Okay. Doing wise traditions at home. She's a grain addict. Of course she's a grain addict. Why? Take it out. Grain addict. When you use the word addict, we know that it's her microbes that are running the show. You must remove the grains. Start slowly, but remove one grain at a time until there are no grains. That's my suggestion. It's more than worth it. Take your time and slowly move them out of her diet. I highly recommend that. Hello, Hussein. All right, everyone, we are done with the day. I have to go get ready to teach the Certified GAPS Coach Program, and I'm online in less than an hour, so I gotta go. I am sending you all fabulous, fabulous, fabulous wishes for the rest of the week. I will see you here next week. Same GAPS time, same GAPS station. Thank you for all the hearts. So great to have you with me. I wish you a wonderful week. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Do the best you can. And then give yourself some grace. You're doing a great job. Doing a great, great job. Okay. Blessings, everyone. Be well. Bye-bye now. Bye, Joanna.